What is noticeable, though, is the fact that the expected show of support in court wasn't all that of a tremendous nature. Why?
Well, look, we are living in a small community. The court is held at a time when most of the people on the island is working. And look, we have colonial, I call them imposters, who are now responsible for the day-to-day management of the island. And I think that there is a lot of intimidation. The fact that they had more police on the island, even though you're not seeing a lot of them today, and military people walking around, that in itself, has been a concern for our people. So I think the fear of victimization, a possible intimidation. But I can tell you, all day yesterday in the wee hours of the morning, I've been getting a lot of emails, a lot of WhatsApp, a lot of telephone calls, and I'm very, very confident that the vast majority of the people of this country, because as I walk around and you talk with the people, I mean, even people who I know hate my guts politically, is saying to me, Mr. Van Putten, we are praying for you, because our eyes now are open and we realize what the Dutch is doing and what it's all about. So don't take for granted that the fact that you did not see a throng of people here at the courthouse, but in spirit, I am very confident that they are here with me.
Some people strongly believe that Clyde Van Putten stands alone in this cause in particular. Do you share that sentiment?
Well, I don't know if you are living at Timbuktu, but I live in this country. And it is one thing that I have done in the 35 plus years that I have been busy representing my people. I am always with the people, in good times and in bad times. And I can say with confidence that the vast majority of the people of this country is with their leader.
Let's say, for instance, a verdict might just come out to be against the PLP leader. Where do you go from here on? What happens beyond that?
Let me be very clear. I have said before, I am prepared to die for this cause. I am prepared to die for this cause. And I am not a person who assumes. Some people ask why it took so long. And again, I'm saying we have spent a lot of time and resources putting this case together. So I am not standing here, with the thinking or the feeling that it will go against us. Because I said to the media before, and I said to my people, that no national law can supersede international law. And we have a lot of jurisprudence that forms part of our presentation, our arguments, that would solidify our case and make us even more convinced that the case that we have submitted against the Dutch state, that it is a valid state, a valid case, and in the final analysis, we will win the case.
That will take me back to my previous question. You stand alone in court, defending a cause. One would say, look, why do you not have the representation of the proper lawyer, the legal mind in court to challenge the situation as is?
But again, I'm saying to you, today was the beginning. And I am not alone. I was here with one of the commissioners, again, because of the system under which we are working. The deputy leader of the government, Mr. Ruben Merkman, could not be here because, again, his employer, he's working in the private sector. But again, when we see the people that forms the core of that organization, he did not get the time to be off so that he could be here. The same goes for Commissioner Simmons. Council Lady Leerdam is hospitalized over the past 3 to 4 days. And again, I'm saying, beside Mr. Woodley and I being here today, we are here supported by our legal counsel. Again, I'm saying it's a team. We knew before we came here that today would be the beginning of a process. But again, I'm saying that if what you see here, if you are mistaken that Clyde Van Putten stands alone in court, then I think you have it coming. Time is longer than twine. And again, I'm saying to you, we are very confident that the vast majority of the people of this country is supporting this cause. And in the final analysis, we will be victorious.
Well, as you know, when you come in, you need to make a assessment to see what really has to be happening. We saw quite some things that were not happening on the island, and that we saw, let's say, neglect in erosion, neglect in treatment of the roads, etc. There were several ways to go around with this. You got to do this in one or two big operations where you fix roads or where you go and do something about the erosion. I did a very extensive investigation to see the relation between what is happening by nature in erosion and roads. And that report is done by Royal Haskoning and is finished this month, where we could make measures to attack both of the problems. So from now on, we're going into not an investigation mode, but in a recovery mode, where we're going to really do the work on the cliff and on the roads.
What are some of the most pressing issues for this government at this time?
Yeah, that is very difficult to tell you which is the most pressing. There are a lot of very pressing things. We ourselves said that the people are first. So we did invest a lot in the civil servant organization. In that, we did start the reorganization as in October. So at this moment, as we speak, I think today there is a big getting together and with the civil servants, where they are getting their training in. And the other part is what I told you, the fiscal part, where the island has some neglect that we do have to attend.
We have noticed that the people are saying that there's a lot done, a lot has been done since you were in office. And you could not tell me what is your priority now, seeing that you have the problem with the infrastructure and the training of the civil servants. How much longer do you have to do this?
Well, as the law permitted, this has to be in a period of about 2 years. I'm sitting here for about 9 months, and as I told you, I now have completely on paper what are all the things we should do. Some of them are started, and some of them has to go into what they call the aanbestedingstraject. So we can give the contractors the job to start and to do the job.
Mr. Clyde Van Putten was here in Gov office. What happens now? You said your tenure is for about 2 years. If they have a referendum, would you be inclined to move, or do you have to wait for the Netherlands government to give you the order to move?
I'm appointed by the Netherlands government, and I have to wait for them to stop that appointment for me to leave. So if I'm taking my work serious, I'll have to do my work until the one that appointed me tells me that it's done.
Do you believe that the people here are impressed with what is happening now than prior to what was happening?
For those who know what's happening behind the curtains, they are very impressed, yes. And for those who's going to see what's going to happen after that we put the contractors to work on the fiscal part, will be impressed also.
Let me ask you, many of the islands are preparing for elections. Will that also apply to St. Eustatius?
As the law say, the law that is in place at this moment, there will be no elections unless that the Dutch government, with understanding of those who are sitting here, recommends different. And that statement will be made at the end of November.
can win. With the Caribbean Lottery, you can win, making a difference, changing lives. Take a chance, and you can win. With the Caribbean Lottery, you can win, you can win.
The Phillipsburg Methodist Church proudly presents the Harmonics in Concert under the theme Praising in Harmony. This exciting concert takes place on Saturday, November 3rd at 7:30 p.m. at the Princess Port de Plaisance Pavilion. Guest artists that will be sharing the stage are Don Froston, Angie Ponteflet, Cecil Griffith, Karen Cadogan, Raymond Benjamin, Benjamin Bell, and Shaba, along with the Djembe Group. Come out, support, and be blessed by the Harmonics in Concert on Saturday, November 3rd. Proceeds of the concert will go towards the upgrading of the audio-video system of the Phillipsburg Methodist Church.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
1, 2, 3.
Tell them, connecting you.
On Thursday, October 25th, 2018, St. Martin, with the support of the European delegation in Guyana and the European Commission Directorate General of Development Cooperation, will be hosting a Caribbean Overseas Countries and Territories Resilience Summit 2018 with as theme Unite, Prepare, Adapt. The summit will focus on 3 subtopics: Unite, Prepare, Adapt, which create a progressive theme for the event, each topic building on the next to come to a potential solution. Some of the featured keynote speakers and panelists include the Executive Director of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SEDEMA, Mr. Ronald Jackson, the CEO of the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Investment Facility, CRIF, Mr. Isaac Anthony, Dr. Kenrick Leslie of the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, and many more too numerous to mention. The OCT Resilience Summit will conclude with the signing of the financing agreement for the 11th EDF Caribbean Regional Program on Resilience, Sustainable Energy, and Marine Biodiversity. During my recent working visit to Europe, I visited Amsterdam and The Hague, where I met representatives of VNG International and thanked them for their continued assistance and service being given to St. Martin. The VNG International has contributed positively to St. Martin since the passing of Hurricane Irma, with programs that support our ESF groups and the Ministry of FROMI. I look forward to a continued close working relationship with VNG and VNG International that will be beneficial to the overall improvement of the civil service of St. Martin. While in Europe, I also visited the cities of Eindhoven and Estonia, to research and observe how e-government processes can improve the overall public services that are delivered by the government of St. Martin. This mission forms part of the strategic objective to improve public services, and it's one of the key priorities of the governing program 2018-2022, building a sustainable St. Martin of the current governing coalition. Some of the key points addressed during the visit included how citizens can speedily access online government services through digitizing of manual processes that are currently being offered at physical locations. And lastly, in recent days, I have been receiving multiple requests to address the ongoing situation of my colleagues, ministers, specifically Minister Stuart Johnson, Minister Miklos Gitterson, and Minister Cornelius de Wever. Through this medium, I would like to let the public know that before any of us can rush to any judgment, we must let the legal process run its course.
You can win with the Caribbean Lottery. You can win, making a difference, changing lives. Take a chance, and you can win with the Caribbean Lottery. You can win, you can win.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Wib now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for? I need to know who you're for.
Contact Wib today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
I need to address the issue of Mr. Fernando Clark, who was summoned to retract his factually incorrect, slanderous, and defamatory remarks about my person and briefly put, he spoke about sexual harassment allegedly leading to his dismissal. His remarks were clearly geared at the Minister of Justice, which function was held by my person during his dismissal. In reaction to my summons, and foremost, retract his statements, and secondly, to confirm in writing that he would refrain from making further incorrect, slanderous, and defamatory statements, Mr. Clark informed my lawyer yesterday that he had no proof, no evidence, and no witnesses to substantiate what he claimed. And therefore, he have decided to desist from making future statements, publicly or otherwise. He also indicated that he never mentioned my name or the client's name or any other name for that matter. And he also therefore thinks that there's no responsibility for any monetary losses resulting from this matter. Mr. Clark hereby complied with the second part of my summons, which was to refrain and confirm in writing that he would refrain from making further publications or making any other remarks in this matter. His reaction, however, does not entail a retraction, and I will consequently pursue this matter.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Hi, what's up, St. Martin? My name is Rene Leverett, and I play baseball. And I have represented St. Martin in numerous international tournaments and professionally around the world. Sports matters to me because it reveals and develops character. So I challenge the business community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facilities. I also ask the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take the challenge and step up for sports. Because hashtag sports matters, hashtag are you in?
The Phillipsburg Methodist Church proudly presents the Harmonics in Concert under the theme Praising in Harmony. This exciting concert takes place on Saturday, November 3rd at 7:30 p.m. at the Princess Port de Plaisance Pavilion. Guest artists that will be sharing the stage are Don Froston, Angie Ponteflet, Cecil Griffith, Karen Cadogan, Raymond Benjamin, Benjamin Bell, and Shaba, along with the Djembe Group. Come out, support, and be blessed by the Harmonics in Concert on Saturday, November 3rd. Proceeds of the concert will go towards the upgrading of the audio-video system of the Phillipsburg Methodist Church.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness. Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as 1.
2, 3,
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
You can win with the Caribbean Lottery. You can win, making a difference. Changing lives. Take a chance. Take a chance. And you can win with the Caribbean Lottery. You can win. You can win.
Minister Johnson, concerning the opposition members, we have Sylvia Jacobs today, Bryson. Sylvia Jacobs was on Monday, today was Bryson. They are asking for accountability from you. Your response?
Thank you, Andrew, for your question. And of course, Andrew, as I indicated last week, the investigation in which I filed on Monday is ongoing, so I'm not in liberty really to answer in that regard. You know, the opposition has their role to play, and of course I have my role to play, which is to represent the people of St. Martin and continue to assist in governing this country. There is simply no time for the response in Facebook status updates, Twitter feeds, or whatever else. There's a country to run. I'm committed and will continue to run the country that I took the oath of doing since June the 25th. For the rest, I leave it up to the investigation, and I look forward to the people of St. Martin supporting that government is indeed functioning and that continued work for St. Martin is of paramount importance.
Minister De Wever?
I'd like to add to that as well, because I think it's unfortunate that some of them, MPs and others, have given into what's called fake news. And I believe that we need to understand the ramifications of these, because not only locally, but also regionally and internationally, and those who engage in it will be held accountable.
Minister De Wever, concerning Mr. Clark accusation, so are you saying that as far as the dismissal of Mr. Clark, what exactly was the reason for his dismissal then?
The same indiscretion or lack of remorse that Mr. Clark is displaying now is the same reason he was dismissed. Secondly, I would expect a lot more from the media houses as well as radio programs who have a responsibility to inform the public truthfully and honestly, and not just take any press release and run with it.